Hey, what's up guys, it's Offbeat here and welcome to the making of my latest music video, Prohibition. So just so you know, this is going to be slightly different to my usual behind the bars videos. If you want to learn more about the songwriting process and the lyrics and that sort of thing, I'm going to be releasing a behind the bars video tomorrow, but this one is going to be focusing exclusively on the making of the music video. So long before the video ever came into existence, Callum and I started working on the beat, and we actually started on it in January. I went to go and see him in January, and we've been working on it pretty much solidly since then. It's probably fair to say that this is the longest track we've worked on together. I think we did like 6 or 7 different versions of it in the end, like before it got to a point I was happy with. So I've actually included the very first one here compared to the one we ended up with, just so you can hear the difference and how much it's evolved since then. So as soon as I wrote the song, I thought straight away that it would be perfect for a music video. And I got really excited and started planning like all the different ways that it could be done. But once I started thinking about it properly, I realised how many locations and actors and costumes and props and all different things they would need to be involved, and how expensive that would be. So I had to start thinking of ways of doing it alternatively that could still look good but be cost effective. And that's when I came up with the idea for comic book video. So I still had a fairly limited budget, but I figured if I took all the money I would have spent on a regular video and just invested it in some sick artwork, then hopefully I could still create that kind of feel of that setting, but it also actually still be affordable to do. So I started looking for artists to work with online, and that's when I came across Tom. His name's Tom Barton, and the link to his portfolio is here. Check out his other stuff because he's awesome. And yeah, as soon as I found his stuff, I just kind of fell in love with it. Got in touch with him, explained what I wanted to do, and he was on board. And I had a really clear idea in my head of what I wanted. And I can sort of draw, but nowhere near to the same level as Tom. So I kind of storyboarded everything that I wanted, sent that to him, and he just brought it to life. So you can actually see here some of the original sketches that I did, and then the final artwork that Tom came up with, and obviously you can see the difference.
I was walking one morning when I heard somebody yelling, and saw a kid with some newspapers that he was selling. Now ordinarily I would have paid him no attention, but the story in question was especially compelling.
So I wanted to mix up the comic book stuff with a bit of live action as well, and right from the outset I had this idea of this kid going into a bookshop and finding the comic book and reading it. And the bookshop that I had in mind was one in my hometown Bristol called Beware of the Leopard, and it was perfect because it's just like quite old and atmospheric and just looked the part. So I went down there and chatted to the owner, explained what I wanted to do, and he was really reluctant at first, to be honest. Like he'd had some pretty negative experiences with people filming there in the past, but I was able to talk him around eventually, and he let us use it, so I was really grateful for that. So once I had the location sorted, I needed to find an actor to play the kid. So I put an ad up on a local Facebook group for actors, and this guy got in touch and said that his son Alfie would be perfect for it, and he was absolutely brilliant. And then once we had Alfie and the location sorted, I just needed to find someone to actually come and film it all. So I looked around, I found this local company called Screaming Eagle, and they liked the idea, they got on board, and then on the day we just turned up, and it was like we only had 1 hour to film everything. So it was all meticulously planned in advance. We had all the shots written down that we needed, and it was like a military operation on the day. I'm not joking. We turned up, got everything we needed. Everyone was super efficient, super professional. And yeah, an hour later I came away with all the footage that I needed, and I was really happy with it. So now I had all the artwork from Tom and all the footage with Alfie in the shop. I just needed to bring it all together. But by this point, obviously I'd spent all my budget and more. But fortunately I've got a bit of experience animating and editing, so I was able to draw on that and just bring it all together myself. So with the promotional side of things, I'd already been speaking to Funky Panda, the YouTube channel, about Swingers Party, which was the other track of mine that they included in their Swing and Spring lineup. So I went back to them and basically said, look, I've got this other track I'm working on. I think you guys really like it. I'd love for you to include it in the Swing and Spring lineup as well, but it's not quite ready yet. Can you give me a couple of days and I'll get you something to look at? So they agreed, and I went away and put together like a really rough version of the track and the video. Sent it back over and pitched it to them, and they said that they liked it, they wanted to include it, but they'd need the finished thing by a certain deadline. So I was like, okay, cool. Went away, and it was basically a race against time after that to get it to them before the deadline. So that week there was a lot of coffee and a lot of late nights, but I got it together in the end finally, sent it over, and they were happy to use it. And yeah, the reaction that it's had has made all of that worthwhile. So this is definitely the biggest project that I've worked on so far with my music stuff, and as you can tell, there are a lot of different elements involved, and a lot of different people and things that I've had to bring together, but I'm also very aware that it's down to all of those individuals that have made it what it is, and without everyone's involvement it definitely wouldn't have happened. So I want to say a big thank you to them, and please do check out the links to their individual projects and things that they do, because these guys are all super talented, and they all really do deserve some recognition in their own light. So that's it for the making of the music video. As I say, if you guys are interested in the songwriting process and the lyrics and that sort of thing, I'm going to be releasing a behind the bars video tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And in the meantime, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'll catch you guys very soon. Cheers.